My boss fired me out of jealousy. He sank his own company with his own hands. Real workplace revenge. Hello, friends. Welcome to Revenge Chronicles. Today I'm going to tell you an unbelievable workplace revenge story. Imagine this. After years of pouring your heart into a company, your boss has a fit of jealousy and shows you the door. But what if that firing is actually the mistake that brings about your boss's own downfall? Yep, that's exactly what happened. This is the realistic story of a software developer named Alex. If you're into boss fires star employee dramas and startup revenge tales, this video is for you. Drop a like, hit subscribe, and share your own workplace stories in the comments. Maybe your story will be in the next video. Ready? Let's begin. Alex was a 28-year-old young software developer. Fresh out of university, he had joined a tech startup to make his dreams come true. The company was small but ambitious. They were building mobile apps and trying to attract investors. As lead developer, Alex was the star of the team. He was a master coder, pulling sleepless nights to finish projects and helping the company grow. But his boss, Mark? He was a different kind of person. Mark was in his 40s, an old-school manager. He had founded the company himself, but didn't know much about the technical side. Alex's success started to unsettle him. He was probably thinking to himself, "Why is everyone talking about Alex? This is my company." It all started on a Friday afternoon. The office was buzzing as usual. Alex had just finished his latest project and was celebrating with his teammates. An investor meeting was coming up, and the code Alex had written was the heart of the app, a system that kept user data secure and ran fast. Mark, meanwhile, sat in the corner, watching with a scowl. He called Alex into the conference room. "Sit," he said in a cold voice. Alex was surprised, because everything had gone perfectly that week. "Alex, you're trying to take my place, aren't you?" Mark asked. Alex's eyes widened. "What? No, sir, I'm just doing my job." But Mark wasn't listening. His paranoia had peaked. He was jealous of Alex's success on the latest project. "Kids like you come along and surpass us. But this is my company. You're fired," he said, pointing to the door. Alex was in shock. He had worked loyally for years, coding on weekends and holidays. There'd been no warning, just jealousy. As he left the office, his teammates watched with sad looks. "Why?" one of them asked. Alex shrugged. "I don't know. But this won't end here." When he got home, Alex was crushed. He told his family, vented to his friends. But the fire inside him hadn't gone out. Most of the company's core software was his handiwork. On his GitHub account, he had similar code as personal projects, of course modified to protect company secrets. As he was signing the termination paperwork, an idea came to him. "Why don't I open source this code?" he thought. But he didn't rush. First, he started looking for a new job and updated his resume. Meanwhile, news from the old company kept trickling in. Mark continued using Alex's code but couldn't maintain it. Bugs started popping up. The app crashed, users were complaining. A few weeks passed. Alex was getting by with freelance gigs. One day a former coworker called. "Alex, the company is going under. Mark hired a new developer, but they can't make sense of your code. The investors are pulling out." Alex smiled. His plan was kicking in. The open source code he'd put on GitHub had been discovered by similar startups. Competitors had begun copying Mark's app. Because Alex's code was better. Mark panicked and considered filing a lawsuit, but the code had been changed, and there was no proof. "How is this possible?" he shouted around the office. So what did Alex do? Did he watch quietly, or did he take one more step? Let's continue. Alex planned his revenge passively but cleverly. He reached out to former clients, professionally, through LinkedIn. "Hello, I'm Alex. I left the old company and I'm starting a new startup. Would you be interested?" he wrote. The clients knew Alex's talent. A few of them switched. Mark's company kept collapsing. The app's errors increased. Investors fled. A few months later, they declared bankruptcy. Mark lost everything. He closed the office and sank into debt. But the most satisfying part? Alex's new startup took off. Thanks to those former clients, he got investment and built his team. And Mark, last I heard, he was working as a barista in a cafe. In the mornings, he serves coffee to the very developers he used to manage. That was Alex's revenge, achieving success by using his own skills. He didn't do anything to Mark. He just watched him trip over his own mistakes. Sometimes the best revenge is waiting for your enemy to shoot himself in the foot, right? Friends, what does this story teach us? Jealousy and injustice come back around sooner or later. If you've been through a similar workplace drama, share it in the comments. Maybe I'll tell your story in the next video. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, don't forget to subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next revenge story. In the next video, I'll tell you how a family betrayal came full circle. See you.